Imagine posting a completely normal video on social media. Then you open the comments. You look like Erling Haaland. At first you laugh, but another comment pops up. Female Haaland. And another one follows. Haaland's long-lost sister. The number of comments grows from hundreds to thousands, then to hundreds of thousands, and before you realize it, the trend is exploding. Your face has become the internet's newest obsession. It feels like one of those fleeting internet jokes that vanishes after a day. Except this one didn't disappear. Within weeks, more women started receiving the exact same comments from different countries, backgrounds, and lives. So what happened? How did one football player become the face people suddenly started seeing everywhere? And how did a few innocent comments completely change the lives of several women? To answer that, we must start with the man himself. Erling Haaland isn't just one of the greatest strikers in football today. He's become something much bigger than a player. Standing over 6'4" with platinum blonde hair, an incredibly square jaw, a wide forehead, light eyebrows, an expression that manages to look serious, confused, and emotionless all at once. Haaland has one of the most recognizable faces in sports. Even people who have never watched a Manchester City match know exactly who he is. And that's important, because the internet has a strange habit. The more recognizable someone's face becomes, the more people start seeing it in completely unrelated places. It's happened before. People compared strangers to celebrities for years. Actors, singers, politicians, even historical figures. But with Haaland, something different happened. Instead of one viral lookalike, the internet kept finding more and more. And everything changed because of one Swedish model named Julia Grop. At the time, she had no intention of becoming famous for looking like Erling Haaland. In fact, she didn't even understand why people kept mentioning his name. According to Julia herself, people had been commenting for months that she looked like Haaland. The problem was she barely knew who he was. She had no idea why her face was being compared to a football star. Yet the comments kept coming, growing louder and more frequent. The internet's pattern was clear. Whenever someone had a face that resembled Haaland's features, people would tag them as a female Haaland. So she did what almost anyone would do. She searched his name online. She looked at the photos, together with her cousin. She came up with a ridiculous idea. What if I actually pretend to be Haaland? She leaned her shoulders forward, pushed her chin out, copied his unusual walking style, matched his facial expression, pressed record, and uploaded the video. She expected a few laughs, maybe a couple thousand views. Instead, the internet exploded. Within days, the video surpassed 85 million views on Instagram alone. Millions of people shared it. Thousands begged her to make another one. Some even gave her a new nickname, Haalanda. But that was only the beginning. Because once the algorithm realized people couldn't stop watching, it started recommending every video remotely connected to the trend. The internet had essentially written the script for her. Every new comment created demand for another video. So she made another one. And another. Soon, millions of people weren't following Julia because she was a model. They were following her because she had become the female Haaland. The nickname spread incredibly fast. Some people even stopped using her real name. Instead, they called her Haalanda. Surprisingly, Julia didn't seem bothered by it. Instead of fighting the joke, she embraced it. She even joked in interviews that maybe it was finally time to learn football again after giving it up as a child. She laughed about the idea that Haaland himself should teach her. And suddenly, what began as a random meme started opening real opportunities. Media outlets wanted interviews. Sports pages started writing about her. Football fans began sharing her content. The 2026 football season had pushed Haaland's face into everyone's feed. Every celebration, every interview, every meme, every highlight. Whether you follow football or not, you had almost certainly seen his face. And when one face becomes that familiar, our brains begin using it as a shortcut. Instead of analyzing every facial feature objectively, we recognize patterns. Sometimes, even patterns that barely exist. That's why one person notices the resemblance, then another, until eventually, millions of people can't unsee it. Every few days, a new video would appear. A blonde woman smiling at the camera, someone walking down the street, a random selfie, and almost immediately, the comments would start. It's Haaland again. We found another one. Why are there so many? It didn't matter where the video came from. TikTok, Instagram, X, or Reddit. The joke spread faster than the original content itself. And that's the fascinating part. People weren't watching because they genuinely believed every woman looked exactly like Erling Haaland. They were watching because they wanted to join the joke. Every comment section became part of the entertainment. Who could spot the resemblance first? Who could make the funniest comparison? Who could come up with the best nickname? It wasn't really about football anymore. It was about participation. The internet loves inside jokes. And once you're in on the joke, you start seeing it everywhere. Julia herself even admitted something interesting. She still doesn't think she looks that much like Haaland. Yes, they're both blonde. Yes, they share some Scandinavian facial features. But according to her, the resemblance has always been exaggerated by the internet. And maybe that's exactly why it became so funny. Because comedy doesn't require perfect accuracy. It only needs enough people to agree. Once thousands of comments repeat the same idea, your brain starts accepting it. Then something even stranger happens. You can't unsee it anymore, even if the resemblance is subtle. And then, just when everyone thought the joke had reached its peak, more people started joining in. More look-alike videos appeared. More memes. More edits. More comparisons. The internet wasn't really searching for another Haaland. It was searching for another reason to laugh together. And maybe, just maybe, this was the real story here. It's not that these women look exactly like Erling Haaland. It's that a single viral idea can completely change how millions of people see someone. One comment, one joke, one video, that's all it took. Because in today's internet, you don't always become famous for who you are. Sometimes, you become famous for who people think you look like. And somewhere out there, someone is uploading a completely ordinary video, unaware that tomorrow morning millions of strangers might decide they've just found the next female Haaland. This is the story of how a joke turned into a global phenomenon, showing us that sometimes the internet is just looking for a connection, not a copy. It reminds us that identity online can be fluid, that a single moment can reshape perception, and that humor can be a bridge between strangers. So next time you see a viral clip, think about what sparked it, who it made famous, and why the world laughed together at that moment. If you enjoyed this exploration, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and stay tuned for our next episode.